So I was part of a longevity pop-up city. Actually, I helped to organize a longevity pop-up city. In this podcast, I'm going to share my experience. I'm going to share what I learned. First of all, I'm going to obviously explain like what a pop-up city is, what longevity pop-up city means, like which pop-up city I was part of. But I'm going to share how my experience was, what I learned, and if I recommend you guys to go to a lot of pop-up cities or whatever. It's just gonna be like a chill sharing. I prepared my tea and I'm just gonna start. For people watching, you can see I'm in my new place. I have a new background. Very cool. I'm very proud. But yeah, let's just start. So, what is a pop-up city? So a pop-up city was like kind of the idea of a pop-up city was born out of the concept of the network state that was formalized in a book by a guy called Balaji Srinivasan, and the book is called, I think, actually the network state. And the idea of the network state is that online communities of people with a common interest or a common moral belief, that they start to source land and start living together, and at some point even get like recognition. So for example, if you have your group of people, like you have an online group that is like fighting for longevity, that is trying to make death optional, this community would start together to buy land. People would start living there together, and this entity, this community would get recognition by other states at some point, which is a very long journey. So you have to kind of, there have to be like tries, like things that you do before to kind of test if there's even the interest or whatever. So this is the place where pop-up cities come in. So pop-up cities are like a little experiment of this. So a group of people with a common interest, with a common moral belief, comes together and lives together for a couple of weeks. There already have been a couple of pop-up cities. The first one was, I think actually, it's not that long ago. It was January this year or last year. It was called Zuzalu, and it was kind of brought to life by a guy called Vitalik Buterin. You probably know him. He's the founder of Ethereum, the second biggest cryptocurrency. He really likes the idea, so he kind of sponsored it, and for I think 8 weeks or for a couple of weeks, like 200 people came together. We're living together in like kind of remote in a resort, and this was a big success. Like people really liked it, and after that, like out of this project, there were like a lot of other pop-up cities spinning out around different topics. Like some were more broad, where it's like we don't have like a super strict topic, and others were more focused. There were pop-up cities on a lot of different topics. And there also was one about longevity. This one was called Vitalia, and it took place in Rotan, on the grounds of, Rotan is an island in Honduras, and on the grounds of Prospera, which is actually a special economic zone. They had like a contract with the Honduran government. Like right now, there's a lot of trouble. Right now, like Honduran government is trying to outlaw them, and there's a big fight, whatever. But on this, in this place, there was the first longevity pop-up city. So a pop-up city that had like with a stated goal, like, okay, I don't know what exactly their stated goal was, but like something like death is bad and we should do something about it, or whatever. So longevity enthusiasts came together, lived together, and that was the first time. And now the pop-up cities I was part of, Zelar.City, was the second time that, like the second ever pop-up city that was about longevity. And Zelar.City also had another thing that was special about it, and that is that it was not like all the other pop-up cities in some remote location away from the real world. Like, Vitalia was on Rotan, which is like in Honduras, which is a third world country, an island. Like, it's like hard to find like even a good doctor there probably. Like probably on Vitalia it's better, but yeah. So Zelar.City was in Berlin, in the middle of Berlin. So yeah, we were really surrounded by this big city. We had access to all of that. Like people could, if they wanted to go to like museums in Berlin, they could like go to doctors in Berlin. Like all the benefits of a big city, and also people from Berlin could join us on weekends, or like just people from Berlin didn't even have to co-live with us, but they could just come every day, do some co-working with us, or come on the weekends when we had our summits. I'm going to explain more on that. Yeah, so this is like kind of what set Zelar.City apart. Now, how did I get involved with that? So essentially, I decided that I want to I want to work on trying to make death optional. Like this is the goal. This is the thing I want to dedicate my life or my next like I don't know 100 years to. And so yeah, after making this decision, I was like, okay, I need to learn. Started learning. Okay, I want to get to know people. So I started to. I decided to go to a conference that is called ARDD. It's like one of the biggest conferences on aging, and this was in Stockholm. No, Copenhagen. It wasn't Copenhagen. Sorry, in Denmark. And there, every evening there were those open bars until like 2 at night. I wasn't drinking alcohol, but I was until 2 at night. I was drinking. I was talking to people, and on one of those evenings, I met a woman that was telling me like, yeah, like I was asking her, yeah, what do you do? And she was like, yeah, so I'm building this pop-up city in Berlin about longevity. And by this point, I already heard about the idea of the network state, and I was always like, yeah, I think the idea is so cool that you live together with people that are actually like interested in the same thing you are interested in, and you like this is just like in my head, this is just the way I want to live. I don't want to be surrounded by just like random people. I want to live to be surrounded by motivated people. I want to live to be surrounded by people that have the fire, that want to change something, and best that even want to change something in the same direction that I want to change something, because then you can collaborate, you can make each other better. And yeah, so I heard of this idea already. So when she told me that she was actually building that, I was like, damn, that's so cool. I want to be part of that. Like that, like, of course, on the evening I was not like telling her that I will definitely like come or whatever, but I just yeah. By the way, her name is Victoria Forrest. She's the founder of Zelar.City, and I was just like very enthusiastic, and yeah, so after the ARDD conference was over, I went back home and I was thinking, okay, what do I do next? I was thinking about some opportunities, and something stood out to me. Like I was like, yeah, I want to go actually to the Zelar.City. I want to get to know the people there. I think also like going there, it's like a different type of crowd. Like it's not the classic conference people, but it's like more, yeah, I think like even the, like at least in my thinking, I was like, yeah, if I go there, there's like very motivated people that like are a bit of like contrarian and whatever, and like yeah, in my head it was like, if I find my future, I don't know, people I want to collaborate with at some place, and it's like probably there, or like places similar to this. So I decided to reach out to Victoria and offer her my help, because I was also, yeah, I want to see this in the world. So what I did is I wrote like a nice message that was like, yeah, okay, I think this idea is really great. I want to help you, and this is the things I can do, and yeah, the things I could imagine helping with. But in general, like I'm just able to solve problems. Like you don't have to babysit me. I'm able to solve problems autonomously, and you just give me the problem and I figure out how to solve it. And this is kind of the message I sent to her. And then we got in. We had a call, and we decided to work together. I got also paid a bit, and so for the first month, that was now 1 month before the pop-up city started. I was just creating podcasts with people from of the Zelar.City team, or with like some people related, interviewing them, asking stuff about Zelar, about their work, doing some social media outreach stuff for 1 month, and then Zelar.City actually started. I went there a couple of days before it actually started, so I was there a bit early, and when I arrived, I met, there were two people were already there. There was Victoria Forrest, and Lawrence Ian. Victoria, I already talked about her. This was the woman I met at ARDD, the founder of Zelar. And Lawrence is was the founder of actually Vitalia, also in the core organizing team of Suzalu, and also founder of VitaDAO, which is a crypto token to support longevity. By the way, I have podcasts with both of them. If you want to listen to them after this video, I will link to them. But so I met both of them, and the first days it was before it started, were like a lot of little problems to solve. We were okay, we have to reach out to more people. So the rooms are all full all the time, and so I was texting a lot of people, and all of that, making the house ready for people to arrive. There were some a lot of little troubles that are unforeseen that you have to deal with if you build something like this, that we had to figure out, especially Victoria, she did so much. And then people started arriving. So I was there for 3 days. People started arriving in the first week. It wasn't all full. Obviously, it's a kind of bell shape. In the first week, it's not so many people. Then it's more in the middle. It's packed, and in the end, it kind of dropped off again. So now I can maybe talk a bit about how my daily experience was or how the daily experience for people at Zelar was like. During the week, there was no program planned by us. So every morning we had a breakfast, and that means we had a chef, and we had an amazing breakfast. It was so good. So we have salads, and we had nutty puddings. We had broccoli. We had all the stuff that I love. We had hummus, super healthy breakfast. A lot of scrambled egg and all the stuff that you want. So the day starts. You go to breakfast. Maybe we had the morning run in the beginning. Later that's kind of stopped. So you maybe go running with some other people of Zelar. Then you go to the breakfast. You eat some breakfast. You talk to people. Breakfast was one of the main points where you actually have time to connect with people, because it's so natural. You just go down to breakfast, you sit next to some people that are and they're interested in longevity, they're interested in the same thing that you're interested in. So you ask them, okay, what do you do? Oh, you work on this project. Oh, that sounds cool. I work on something similar. Oh, whatever. You can imagine all the types of collaborations that can come out of this. After that, during the week, we had nearly no program. So during the week, people were free to, first of all, of course, they work on their own stuff, work on their own projects, but second of all, also to create their own experience. So it's not that we said, okay, we're gonna be here and we're gonna make the perfect program for everyone. No, you can create your own program. If you want to do some project, then you can just get people and make the project with them. If you want to do a workshop, you can just say, okay, I'm going to do a workshop, and see if people show up. If you want to go to train, you can just grab a bunch of people and go training with them. And we didn't, we didn't try to enforce like, okay, this is the things that is gonna happen. Like, so people could just decide what they do. And of course, people can't just come there for 6 weeks and be like, yeah, I'm just have time for whatever in those 6 weeks. No, people actually also have to work. During the week, there were just a few things that we scheduled. So that was the best thing, like one of the best things, and that is the sauna. We had a beautiful, beautiful sauna that we booked once or twice a week, close to our location. And so for once or twice a week, all the participants that wanted to go, we went into this beautiful sauna with a beautiful hangout space for a couple of hours. Every time we did that, I prepared like big buckets of ice. So I put them in the bathtub, and we had an ice bath, which was amazing. And yeah, this was one of the highlights, definitely for me, and I know also for most like of the people, because yeah, just such a beautiful space, and also the opportunity, you're with longevity people in the sauna, so you can talk about like what you're passionate about. So that was during the week, but on the weekends we actually had some program. So we had summits on different topics related to longevity. So we invited speakers, and I can just like quickly the topics for some, like in the first week, it's also the theme of the week, but especially in the summit, we invited speakers to that topic. We had like discussions about that topic and whatever. So first week is just foundations of longevity and translational research. Second week is innovations in longevity bio and synthetic biology. Week 3, decentralized science and network states. Week 4, health span optimization and AI. And week 5 was 5 and 6 was like a double. Radical longevity, so cryonics, replacement, and then like the second part was also like ethical considerations and debates. And yeah, so every weekend we had speakers. Andrea Meyer was there, George Church, Aubrey Gray, a bunch of people. And so during the summit, people, of course, that lived there came into the big hall and spent the day there, but also people from the Berlin community. So we invited a lot of people from Berlin that filled up our hall and watched the speakers, discussed during like our fishbowl sessions. By the way, I will upload all the talks on the Zelar.City YouTube channel. So if you want to check that out, all the talks will be available. Or not all the talks, because on some we didn't record them, but the talks that we recorded, those will be available for you to watch. And yeah, so those were our weekend summits. This was like the main part where we attracted people from Berlin to come in, that like, oh, there's this longevity thing. And then there were some people started coming to our co-working after those summits. I think I didn't explain how big it was. So we had in total, we had two houses with 10 bedrooms each. And in total, because some bedrooms were for multiple people, we had like 30 people that could live there permanently. And then, of course, we had Berlin people that were just dropping by. And yeah, this was like the capacity. Also, how long the people stayed was different. So we had people that were just staying for 3-4 days. That was like rare, but like, yeah, we had definitely some of those. And we also had people that stayed for the whole thing and everything in between. We had people staying for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and of course, yeah, the whole 6 weeks. So very different times of people staying. So now about specifically what was my experience at Zelar. You now know kind of the framework, how many people were there, what we did. And yeah, for me personally, I mostly, like, because of the fact that I was helping to organize Zelar, I was mostly hanging out with Lawrence and Victoria, which were in the core organizing team. We also had some other amazing people in our organizing team, some amazing volunteers. And yeah, but those were the people I think I was closest with during that time. And I, at some point after, like in the first week, it was still like, okay, getting to know everything. It was not clear, like tasks division. At some point, Victoria decided, or like, yeah, I was uh, promoted, whatever, to be COO, Chief Operations Officer. And fancy word, but that means that just I was essentially in the day to day just trying to have everything run smoothly. Like, we had volunteers, and I was responsible to manage that the volunteers do the stuff that yeah, needs to be done by the volunteers. And um, that everything is like, the house is not burning down. Sometimes literally, but actually no. Like, the I was just putting out little fires all the time, like little problems in the day to day. And yeah, managing the volunteers. I think for me personally, this was also like my biggest, like the part that I learned the most of. Yeah, so yeah, for my personal reflection, like what I got out of this, I thought that like the main part is the people I will meet, which was definitely the case. That I met a lot of cool people that are interested in the same thing I'm interested in, and I made some deep friendships in in the field, in the space. But what came as a very unexpected learning is like the fact that I was like thrown into this position. Okay, like I have to manage the volunteers right now. I have to properly learn how to delegate tasks, and just learning that, like learning the pain of, okay, you give a task to somebody, you know that, like, okay, if I could do it myself, but if I do all the tasks myself, then I have, like, I can't do all of them. So you have to delegate, and then you delegate, and then you see, okay, it doesn't get done, or it doesn't get done properly, or all the problems. And like whenever there was something not done, like of course it was my responsibility. And like learning how to do this properly, like how to delegate properly, how to make expectations clear, how to deal with all of those problems that come with that. That was very interesting. And yeah, I would say for me that was like my main learning from that time. In general, I believe that this concept of pop-up cities is for sure, for me, it's like this is the place where I want to live at. Like, actually, not the principle of pop-up cities, but this in the long term. So pop-up city that doesn't end, network state, actually, like special economic zone, or like longevity house with people that want to work on the same thing that I want to work on, like with motivated people. I want to be surrounded by those kind of people. Like right now, I'm very lucky because I'm in the Netherlands and I'm surrounded by amazing people. I love my friends here, and we are. I don't know what kind of happened here, but for some reason I found such a amazing group of motivated people, really smart motivated people that are my friends. So the pressure is not that big, and I'm very happy for that, because there are not so many permanent pop-up cities there. Like there's Italia, but as I said, like they have a lot of trouble with the government right now, like Prospera. And other than that, yeah, this doesn't exist yet, but I know that it will in a couple of years. And when it does, like this is definitely a place where I want to go to, where I want to live at. So I think that's it. There's nothing more that I wanted to share. In the description you'll find the link to Zelar.City, and here, and also in the description, there's a video of me interviewing Victoria Forrest, the founder of Zelar.City. Bye bye.